These are the 5 signs that you're ready to leave the United States, even if you're scared. Let's jump into it. I want to start this video off just a little bit different. If you're watching this, it's not because you hate your life in the United States. And I don't think it's because everything is falling apart in the US. Everything could be going just fine. But I think it's because something just doesn't feel right for you anymore. And you really can't explain it. When people ask you what's wrong, you really don't have an answer for it. You just know this pace, this routine, this environment is just not hitting the same anymore for you. So today I want to talk about the 5 signs that you're actually ready to pack it up and leave the United States. And that's even if fear is still real for you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I seen these signs appearing in my life, I wasn't thinking readiness, I was thinking restlessness, confusion, overthinking. And now when I look back, that was only clarity trying to break through. Sign number 1, you feel stuck, but nothing's really technically wrong. And this one messes with people the most because on paper, life makes sense. You're working, your bills are getting paid, you're doing what you're supposed to do, but internally, your life feels like it's on autopilot. Let me paint the picture. You wake up, you grab your phone, you scroll a little, get ready, go to work, deal with traffic, deal with people, deal with the stress, come home tired, not exhausted from the work itself, but exhausted from the day. And then you keep thinking, is this just the way life is supposed to be now? But not in a dramatic way, but more like in a quiet, disappointing way. That feeling, it's not laziness, it's not ungratefulness. It's usually the sign that your environment is not matching the person that you're becoming. And the reason why it's uncomfortable, because nothing is wrong enough to justify this particular change. Yet, everything feels off enough to just want it. And number 2, you're more tired of pace than the actual work. A lot of people say they're burnt out for work, but I don't think you're burnt out from work. I think they're burnt out from the pace of life, which was my case. Because as I always said, I work more here than I did when I was in the US. You know, the rushing, the constant pressure, and always feeling like time is just chasing you. Have you noticed when you travel, even on a short trip, your mornings are slower? When nobody is honking, you're not checking the clock every 5 minutes. Have you noticed how your body just relaxes? And you realize, holy shit, this is what calm really feels like? At least those are my exact words. And that's when it hits you. It's not that you don't want to work. You just don't want to live in a system where every single thing feels urgent all the time. And once you notice it, once you experience it, guess what? It's very, very hard to unsee it. Number 3, you think about leaving even when everything is going well. If you only want to leave the United States when things are going bad, then I would admit you're running from something. But when the thought of leaving comes up, even when things are stable in your life, then that says something. That's different. When you get a raise and it still doesn't go away that you want to leave, when you move to a nicer area, nicer place, and that desire still comes up that you want to leave, you check off all the boxes, but guess what? Something still feels like that it's missing. I hear people online say, oh, you're just being ungrateful. But that's not being ungrateful. People who say that are ignorant. It's because growth doesn't always come from pain. It can sometimes come from honesty. So don't feel like you're running from your life. You're just questioning that the life that you're currently living, is it right for you long term? And that's a dangerous thought, but in a good way. Number 4, fear is still there, but it's not stopping the thought. Let's talk about fear for a second. If you're scared to move abroad, that's normal. Anyone that tells you that they wasn't scared before they made a big move like this, they're either lying or trying to sell you something. As much as I love living in Dominican Republic, guess what? I was scared in the beginning. The sign isn't that fear disappears. The sign is that fear is no longer strong enough to shut down those thoughts. You're still thinking about leaving when you're scared. You're still on the computer researching. You're still watching videos like this. You still imagine your life being elsewhere. And fear stops saying no to you and starts saying, how could this really actually work for me? What about healthcare? What about how will I make money? What about my family? And what about my daily life? That shift in mindset matters because that's not panic. Guess what that is? That's preparation starting. Number 5, you want clarity more than you want motivation. And this is one of the biggest signs, but guess what? Most people miss it because at some point, the hype, it stops working. Meaning watching all the videos and people by the beach and drinking coconuts, all that hype stops working. And guess what you start doing? You start researching. You're not looking for someone to convince you anymore. You're not looking for motivational videos anymore. You start to want the facts about cost of living, rent, groceries, healthcare, and what a normal life would look like here in Dominican Republic. You're no longer trying to romanticize the move, you're trying to understand it. And that's when you know you've moved out of the dreaming phase. You're not asking, would it be nice? You're asking, would this make sense for me? I call that readiness. Here's what I wish I would have understood earlier, that fear doesn't mean you're not ready. Fear typically shows up when you're about to outgrow something that's familiar. And the goal is not to eliminate the fear. The goal is not to let the fear make every single decision for you. When fear and clarity exist at the same time, that's when real intentional change happens. For me, leaving the United States was not about me hating the United States. I know people like to say that all the time. It was about realizing that the person that I was becoming no longer fitted the environment anymore. And once I accepted that, things started to shift. Not fast, not perfectly, but intentionally. So if this video hit home, don't rush yourself. Big life decisions require calm thinking with no pressure. One of the most grounding things I did before I made my move was getting clear on what life would actually cost here. Not what it looked like online, but actually what it would cost. That's why I created the DR Cost of Living Calculator. It's not a commitment, it's just a clarity tool. If you're in the phase where curiosity is starting to turn into intention, then the tool is here for you. It's no rush. No hype. The link is in the video description whenever you're ready. And remember this, you don't have to have everything figured out to admit that you want more. One of the most honest things you can say to yourself is, this life doesn't fit me anymore. And why that bothers people is beyond me. People hate to hear that life in the United States no longer fits one individual. If you like it, stay there. Nobody's asking you to leave. But don't try to shame people who feel that life in the US just doesn't fit them anymore, because it's okay. So guys, I've created a weekly newsletter. It's called Live Your Best Life Newsletter. I'm gonna leave a link in the video description below. That's how you get the cost of living calculator. Also, if you want to invest in DR, I have a link in the video description below that says, I want to invest in real estate. Click that link and I'm going to put you in contact with my trusted realtor, Milta. So guys, until then, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're going to live your best life. And I'm out. Peace.
Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, no.